Oh, man. I'm going to have to change something up because this is getting ridiculous. Okay, Sponge Monkey, Batista, whatever your name is. For you guys who don't know, watch this video. I'll try to link it here. I'll put it in the sidebar if he doesn't accept the video. I'm all about having debates. I'm all about having disagreements. That's one of the main reasons I got on here, was to find other sports fans, other people believe differently than I did, and talk about different things. But what I can't stand, and this is not going to be a debate. This is not going to be a discussion, because you have no point, you have no basis, you have no validity, and you want to know why? Because you didn't watch the video. You didn't get what the point of the video was. Either A, you didn't watch the whole video, which I think is what happened, or B, you have no sense of how putting things into context. I hope it's A. The last video I made, called Aggies, this is what I'm talking about. At the first of the video, I did a little stupid act job, which I can't act. You should have told it. You could have told it was fake. Making fun of A&M for losing to Purdue in the second round, after my team, the Texas Longhorns, got knocked out in the first round and struggled throughout the entire end portion of the season. That's the point. And I explained it in the video. I did my little minute or minute and a half of doing stupid stuff. And then I went and talked about how stupid that was, how moronic that was, to get on here and act like getting so happy about a team losing, your rival team losing, when your team's not even on that level yet. That was the point. That's so what you're saying. So when you say in your video, dude, how could you make fun of A&M losing to Purdue and getting all excited when your team barely made the tournament? That was the point. That was the point. Is it getting in? Do you understand? The rest of the video was me talking about, one, about the whole fan thing, but also giving huge props to Texas A&M for having a great season, for Turgeon turning that basketball program around or keeping it afloat, being better than Texas this year. I even said it when y'all played us in Austin, when I was here in Austin at the Irwin Center, watched the game, A&M was better than Texas that day. They outplayed us. But somehow in overtime, we pulled it out. Home crowd advantage, whatever. We went to College Station, got our tails whipped. Okay? Baylor swept us. They were better than us. A lot of teams were better than us. Now, I will disagree with the fact that you're going to say that Oklahoma should have made it over Texas. Oklahoma was one of the worst teams in the Big 12. So, and I think Oklahoma fans agree. They didn't have a good season this year. Texas had a better season. So, that's your Aggie coming out there. And a lot of your Aggies coming out of being so myopic and so hearing something one time and not taking a chance to think about it, to look at it and say, this guy said something similar a while back. Now he's going completely against it. I should probably stick around to see if he's trying to make a point or if he's being a moron here. Dude, it blows my mind, and you're not the only one. No, most people got it. Most people are able to think things through, have basic, comprehension skills. But you looked at it, you heard something, and you're like, well, that's not right. You typed your little comment, you made a video, and you're so confident in your video about how wrong I was when you're completely off base about what I was talking about. And it wasn't some cryptic thing I was doing. I explained myself in the video, and if you'd watched it all, you would have known that. Hopefully. Now, talk about the other things. Alabama thing. Yes, the video I made after the Alabama game, I was mad. I wanted to see my guy play. And that's how I truly felt at the game. I truly felt that Texas would have won if Colt had played. The one thing I've said this before, I should not have said, that Texas would have won with Colt. I don't know that. None of us know that. I do think we have a better shot at it. I think when you have a senior All-American quarterback who goes out, who's been leading this team for 4 years, goes out, it affects the team negatively. I think everyone, including Alabama fans, would have liked to have seen what Colt could have done. That being said, Alabama got the job done. Alabama didn't do anything illegal. Alabama is the champion. They're the true champion. They won the ball game. But I mean, if Garrett Gilbert had gone in there and won that ball game that early in the game as a true freshman, they're making movies and stuff right now. I mean, at one point in the game, when Texas got to 24-21, and Bama made that great play, hitting Gilbert in the back and causing the fumble pretty much to seal it. I think one of the commentators said something along the lines of, and I guess either something about the miracle or the great story, or whatever, wasn't going to happen. And that's kind of what it was at that point. Kind of like, well, if we pull this out, this is going to be one of the biggest, one of the greatest miracles of all time in sports, with some, one of the best defenses, the best defense in the country that season, and in Alabama, have a true freshman come in and win that game. That's miracle on high stuff. So and I would argue that to Alabama fans, if Garrett Gilbert had won that game, how embarrassed it would have been for their team. I mean, really. I mean, if Colt wins that game, that's a good battle. If a true freshman comes in and beats your team, you're going to be pretty upset about that with your team. But Alabama won. They get congrats. They're the champions. And what you're talking about with the Texas Fairweather fans, one thing, like, it's not speaking about me. Because as you know, or hopefully you know, I don't really know. You don't really seem to pay attention too well. I follow all Texas Longhorns, football, basketball. Baseball, it's more about, I use it more just in the playoffs. And that's not because, I'm a Fairweather fan, because we're good. We're like ranked number 1 or 2 this year. And we're killing everybody right now. We swept Stanford and beat Rice and all that kind of stuff. I think we swept Tech last week. So, I mean, we're doing great. I've just, college baseball, I really get into it around the College World Series. And I'm not the biggest baseball fan in the world. And I admit that, so I don't talk a whole lot of junk about it. But football, basketball, I'm all about it. So I don't know what you're talking about there. But there's probably Texas fans like that, and that's fine. But please don't act like Texas A&M is just some huge, always loyal fan base. Now, they talk about it a lot. But if you want to see ticket sales this past season, do you really want to look at it? Do you want to see how half the stadium for a lot of games weren't going? I know people who go to Texas A&M. I've said this before. I have a lot of my friends go there. They didn't even get season tickets this year. They said, I'm not going to watch them. They suck. Okay? You see what I'm saying? So you're right. There's probably a lot of Texas fans who, when they lose, they take their stuff down or whatever. But you're acting like Aggies don't do that. Please. Come on. Because you want to look at, I'm not talking about making money, but I want to see average attendance each week. Because A&M has a huge stadium as well. You want to look at that kind of stuff. And also you want to see which athletic programs in the red right now. A lot of it has to do with fan support. Just saying, look at stuff. But please, before you make a video, before any of you, before you make a video, before you make a comment, if you disagree with the point of my video, if you disagree with the point that I was making, which was if your rival gets ahead of you and you're not as good, it doesn't make any sense to talk trash. If you disagree with that, that's fine. We can talk about this. But me and you can't have a discussion right now because you're completely off base. The point you're making doesn't exist. Your argument against me doesn't exist. So go back, look at it again, then come back to me, and then we can talk about it. I love talking about stuff. I love having debates with different teams, especially rival teams. But we're not having a debate right now because you didn't look into it good enough. You didn't, do your homework well enough, and there's no real point. So there's your video response. Please come back to me and let me know if you figured out what I was trying to say, or if it's still just, I don't understand why you made fun of Purdue. Well, us losing Purdue when you barely made the tournament. Well, the fact that is so off base and out of line should have given you a hint at what I was trying to do. And it wasn't even a hint. I explained it later on. Hook 'em horns, Texas fight, and please, guys, before you comment, either watch the whole video or just leave it. If it's boring and it sucks, move on or say it sucks. But don't try to make a valid argument when you don't have one. Hook 'em horns.